What is up, guys? So this morning I'm just going to do a short review of this documentary what's on YouTube right now. It's about a guy called Lanre Fehrentola, who ended up a heroin addict. I think he was a photographer or some kind of journalist, and he wanted to get into the world of addiction to document it and show people what it was like in that world, and he ended up getting addicted, and he couldn't get out of it. And now this documentary's out there. I think he's no longer with us now. He died of cancer or something like that. But he made this documentary of him struggling with heroin addiction and the real life struggles of trying to get clean. And it's a very powerful documentary. It's on YouTube, so if you want to go and watch it, I'll probably put a link in the description. I ain't got a proper setup, so that's why I'm doing it like this. I'm just making use of what I have. At some point I will learn how to do reaction videos and get a proper setup, but for now I just have to make do. So yeah, let's get right into it. If you're easily triggered, I would say probably not watch this video because it has got drug use and talking about drugs in it. So, but anyway, this start off with this young lass is a prostitute smoking crack.
3 years ago, I made this film about a close friend, photojournalist Lanre Fehrentola.
That's Lanre. Now this young lass here, she's like every single crack house. They're in a crack house, which I made a video about that yesterday. Every crack house has a Lanre and a working girl, a prostitute. And she's just talking about having sex with strangers for money. And one thing I will say about working girls is they are strong, independent women. They're not really trying to hurt anyone. They only hurt themselves, selling the body to get money for heroin. And one thing that I'll say about the clientele is you would be shocked. You would think it would be all seedy old men and dirty old men, but it isn't. It's a lot of young dudes, doctors, nurses, bankers, all kinds of different people use prostitutes. And they're just like providing a service.
Moved city to document the lives of drug addicts, dealers and prostitutes for a book.
Were you not doing drugs before you started working?
That's the typical
15 when you started working?
15 years old, working on the streets. Isn't that just like, just treacherous, It just, and the thing that annoys me is the working girls, they get a lot of stick online, people going past in the car, filming them, laughing at them, making them do press-ups for £1 and stuff like that. If you couldn't walk a day in a working girl's shoes, and it's a treacherous life. She's smoking crack there.
Lanre was always passionate about finding the heart of his chosen story. During a previous project on the homeless, he had become so involved that he ended up evicted and penniless.
He got evicted from his house because all you care about is money. That's all. Drugs. All you care about is getting money for drugs. You don't care about rent. And as you can see by the house, he's probably sold all his belongings, or even the settee. Everything's gone. So a usual basic addict's house would be a settee, an old black and white telly, what's not worth a penny. And that's pretty much it. Maybe a bed. I don't even think Lanre's got a bed. He's just got a scruffy old mattress on the floor. It's a horrible lifestyle.
Chosen to live amongst his subjects in one of the roughest parts of town.
I think this is in Sheffield. I'm not 100% sure.
Giant here and LA.
And this is a typical addict. I've never used needles, and the first time I saw someone using a needle like this, I was like, fucking hell, and I still actually got a bit of a fear of needles from seeing it day in, day out. And the first time I saw it, I couldn't believe it. It was first thing in the morning. Somebody had just woke up. They pulled out a big massive needle, not one of these little insulin pins what's on here. It was a big massive one, like a blue top or something, and it was the size of a knitting needle, and he stuck it straight in his fem. And I just couldn't believe it. The femoral artery is a big vein that goes up the back of your body, I believe. So yeah, they do this like 10, 20 times a day. That's why all the veins collapse. I want to get to the part where he's detoxing.
His photographic equipment eventually disappeared, lost, pawned or stolen.
Where is it?
So anyway, so they react to cocaine. So
here it is. This guy Now this is a typical scenario of a heroin addict detoxing. Now what he's done is come up with this wonderful plan, which in theory it should work, but once you get into it, it doesn't work, it never works. And he's give all his money to his mate and said, hey, lock me in this room. I'm going to get clean, I'm going to do my detox. But unless you're 100% ready, you know, you could lock someone in a prison cell, it's not going to work. It'll work for the time, but then when they get out, they're just going to go straight back on it. You have to be ready and willing to do it yourself. It's an old cliche, but it's true. I remember when I went to Skegness, I booked a caravan in Skegness for 2 weeks, and I went over there, sat cold turkey in that caravan for 2 weeks, and then as soon as I got back, started using straight away. You know, I just wasn't ready, and I don't think Femi Lanre's ready at this point. So he's given all his money to his mate and said, look, just lock me in the room, don't let me out. And now he's going through the withdrawals, and you can see the house, disgusting house.
Lanre has always been powerfully drawn to the edges of society.
Right, he can barely even walk. He's detoxing that hard.
Put up by a local prostitute.
And that's what it does. It just knackers you when you're detoxing, because you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you can't, you're not getting natural rest. So you're not getting nourishment because you can't eat, you just puke it straight back up. So you're just like a walking zombie. Just like
sent him to a children's home.
Lanre was then.
They're all children's home. He's not going to wear no clothes. We haven't got them any of our clothes.
See, this is him in full withdrawal. That's all you want to do. You just want to lay in bed like, oh, just leave me alone. Like, some people do well in rehab. They'll go to rehab, you know, and they'll sit with other people. They'll go to the groups, and I can't do none of that. When I'm detoxing, I just want to be left alone, just like Lanre is here. Just pull the covers over my head and just say, look, I'm dying. Just leave me alone. Leave me to get through this. The last time I was in rehab, I remember I was laid in my bed and someone came to my door and said, come on, we're cooking shepherd's pie. I was like, fuck that, mate. And they kept trying to get me to come out, and I was just like, mate, just leave me alone. And he says, oh, you can't, you've got to cook. I was like, fuck this. So, you know, rehab's not for everyone. It wasn't for me. I did it myself, just like Lanre's doing it.
What's up? I can't see it at the minute.
See, he's like 2 days into his withdrawal. Second day,
at the front door.
and somebody comes to the door. Now, if he was ready to kick, he would say, no, go away, I'm busy, you know, and get rid of him. But he's not ready. So what he does is he goes down and he answers the door, and he blags some heroin off him on the sly. Look at the house, man. It's
They don't go to sleep.
an absolute mess. Look, he's got his gear now on the sly. Now he's trying to get rid of the cameraman so he can do it. And then he's saying, oh, I didn't get out. But then as soon as the cameraman goes, he's straight to sleep because he's had a sneaky little dig. And that's the beauty of having heroin. You know, when you're ill, that's the only real time that I enjoyed it, was when I was super ill. I'd been in the cells for like 2 days, got out, and then you finally get some gear, and it's like, yes, you know, it's like the ready break glow. It's like a magical potion. It just, as soon as you have it, you get warm, you get your hunger back, you can sleep again. It just puts you normal. And that's what happened here. He's had a little boot on the sly. He's got his head down straight away and slept.
An hour later, Errol found the remains of a recently smoked spliff, which looked like it might
And he had a
also
spliff as
contain
well.
heroin.
Oh, he's probably smoked the heroin, actually. Because it'd be hard to cook up a dig with all these people here, so he's probably got some heroin. He might have texted his mate and said, oh, build a spliff with heroin and bring it round. And I remember, like, because I thought, like, if you injected it, if you smoked it in a spliff, it wouldn't work. But I remember once when I was underneath the court system in Doncaster, and one of my old mates, Jimmy, I'm not going to say his second name, he's dead now anyway, he came in and he had some heroin. And obviously underneath the courts you can't get any foil, you can't get any needles, but you used to be able to smoke, you can't now. And so he just knocked up a spliff with heroin in it, and we all sat there puffing on this spliff, and I was bad rattling, detoxing, and it took the edge off, you know, it made me feel a lot better. And so I think that's what's happened here. He's got a spliff off his mate, and he's just had a few puffs of it, and he's got his head down. But he's his mate now. He's like, yeah, I know what you've up to. You've done something there.
That it had just been cannabis in the spliff, but I was confused. We had talked about the possibility of Lanray using cannabis to ease his pain.
That does not work, I can tell you for a fact. I remember when I just got remanded in Doncaster, I was detoxing like hell, and there was a Barnsley kid in the cell called Conway. I think it was Chris Conway, I'm not too sure, a good lad. And I walked into the cell, and he says, "Is that Rattling kid?" I says, "Yeah, I fucking feel like shit." And he was having a piss, and he turned around and started waggling his knob about. He says, "You'll be all right." I said, "What are you doing, you dickhead?" And he had a big lump on the end of his knob, which was a big chunk of draw what he had behind his foreskin. So he's pulled this draw out, made a spliff. And I'm thinking, this will make me feel better, but fuck me, it did not. It made it 50 times worse. It just made it horrible. I'd never do that again. So yeah, I would not recommend smoking weed when you're detoxing.
But he had decided against it.
See, he's had a boot. He's had some heroin. He just wants to get his head down now.
What?
But the trouble is, that just puts you straight back to the beginning. So now he's got to go through it all again.
You bullshit me, Larry.
You gave me a bit of Smithfield smoke.
You built your own thing. I can see you took some papers. You built your own thing.
You gave me some of the Smithfield smoke. Yes, some weed.
Hey.
You just gave me some.
And he's just blagging it now, which is typical addict behaviour.
It's supposed to be that we are here and we're
So
trying.
I just want to show this one last little bit. So this is like 2 days
Get out
in,
of the flat, Lanry. I know how to get out of the flat.
and he can't
You know how
hack
to
it
get out of the flat.
because it's horrible, it's awful. It's a terrible feeling. And now he's just arguing with his mate, saying, "Listen, I want my money, I want some drugs, I'm going to score."
Yeah. I've been in pain all night.
And his mate's saying, no, you've got to keep going, you've got to keep going. And Lanray's like, "Nah, I need some drugs."
I've been in pain. Every time I wake up, I'm in pain.
Can't hack it. And I don't blame him, it's awful. Look, he can't even stand up.
Larry, seriously, you can't go.
And now he's going to score some
Do
drugs.
this thing, Larry. Don't fucking blow it.
I can't.
And you know what he does? This is the power of addiction.
I can't let you.
He
Phone her and I'll go and pick it up.
Don't give me.
he ends up jumping out of the window, if I can find it.
Do you know what I mean? Because I know that.
See, look. He ends up, the detox is so bad. Look, he can barely even walk, look. He ends up saying, right, I'm using. He jumps out of the window, like on the second floor, breaks his ankle, just so he can go and score some drugs.
Situation. Fuck. Now I just felt like I'd been participating in an elaborate lie.
And seeing the guy, the cameraman, just feels let down. He's got they found some heroin, they found a syringe, so they know that he's been using it on the
Come
sly.
on, fucking clean with it.
Where were they?
And he's like, "Oh, I don't know what you're on about."
Put on your bed.
Under my bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows exactly what it was. Well, it's day 4, I think, or day
What's a bit of spliff?
3.
Roll.
Or maybe it is, but they don't want to withdraw.
Yeah, what is this? What is
He's
this?
gutted, look. It is horrible. It's such a horrible feeling. Look at all the rubbish in the back.
Have you looked at yourself? Look at your hands.
And the cameraman's getting frustrated because he don't understand, you know. He just, all he sees is, just get through it, mate. Just do it. What's wrong with you? But if you'd been through a detox, oh man, it feels so horrible. It hurts in ways that I can't really describe. People say, it's like having the flu, but worse. But it's not. Because when you've got the flu, you can just get your head down, you know. You can eat some junk food and get through it. But when you're battling, when you're detoxing, you can't eat, you can't sleep, so it lasts twice as long, you're exhausted, you just feel so ill and uncomfortable in your own skin, and you know that all this can go away if you just have one little bit of heroin.
I know.
What have you done to your life? Look at the clothes you're wearing. Look at the state of your life.
And ridiculing someone doesn't really help.
We're here to help.
Like I say, you've got to be ready to do it. And if you're not ready, you're not going to do
More
it.
reluctant about starting again. But we all agreed to try.
So the fair play to the cameraman, he's trying, you know, he's
Come on.
Give that 3 fucking
now
days
he's
of
arguing,
fucking
saying, I want my money, I'm going to go and score. And he's like, no, you're not getting it. You're standing firm, we're going through it. It's a good friend, that, good friend.
Seriously?
And now he's trying to fight him to get out. I need some heroin, I need some heroin. They won't let him out. This is where he jumps out the window, breaks his ankle. Just seeing him, man, it just brings it all back. Like, oh god, the fucking feeling is horrible. And here he is, look, he's this is where he jumps out the window and breaks his ankle to go and get more drugs. I'll just show you this bit and then I'll finish up. Like I said, I wish I had a better setup, but look, he's going to jump out the window, breaks his ankle and still goes and scores. That's the power of addiction right there. So yeah, he failed in this detox.
Also himself.
Like he's no longer with us, Lanray. I think he ended up getting lung cancer or something, and he died. I did know his son. I didn't know his son, but I knew who his son was. He was a boxer called Feintola. I remember when I went to watch Junior Witter fight Vivian Harris at the Dome, and his son was on the undercard, Femi. I think he might have fought for the British title or something, and I was sat next to him and he was sat counting his money. So yeah, I did meet his son once, but I didn't know him. And like I say, he's dead now. And this documentary is such a powerful documentary. If you want to go and watch it, I'm going to put the link in the description. But you know, it's a great insight into the world of addiction. So that's the video for today. If you like this video, press the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Au revoir.